I've got to realize that in a matter of days, people are coming to my site. The site has to be open and available. So we're going to go live. And of course, you're never ready. But John and I have been I mean, that's one of the 50 things I'm doing, including a tremendous budget to get all the music to the musical published by Sunday, which is
Oh my gosh, Christopher.
it's a lot for any single individual to take on.
No, that's
And
yes.
in all of this, I'm very, very, very familiar with keyword optimization. And so if I'll just share my screen. I'm only doing this now just so you can just perhaps understand
Of course, please.
what I think we need to focus on today. And just correct me if I'm wrong.
That's all right.
But just to give you an idea, you are looking at one type of content. This happens to be, and she asked me to note it
This
here.
is your wife. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's,
that's my wife.
she's beautiful.
Yeah, Kristen, thank you. Kristen's the daughter of Miss America, Miss Minnesota, so she gets her beauty from
Oh.
mom.
And now it passes it on to your children.
Yeah, so that portritude is a very natural beauty for Americans,
Mhm.
or I should say Norwegians. Anyway, the point here is that this is a type of content, and this is what it kind of looks like. Jean and I have been working on. Um, this is not what the homepage is going to look like when people actually are members. They will
Mhm.
be coming to. This is nothing the way it will look like. John's just throwing this together. But the idea is that your main search engines will be here. So your curriculum will be one course, your curriculum. The
Mhm.
other one will be the authors or professors, the people who authorize content, like myself. People can search via their favorite food professor. Another one will be the type of content, whether it's web TV, audio, ebooks, courses, whatever that is, the type of content, and the fourth one will be the title of each piece of content. So I want to make sure, I told John that we got to make sure within the abilities of WordPress that we can accomplish these types of search criteria. So what you ultimately will look at, what we will see when members come is they'll see something to the effect. This is the type of language, welcome, choose your field of interest, learn at your own pace from top Buddhist and business CEOs, diverse content every month, something like that. But these are the curriculum. This is the curriculum.
Mhm.
Various types of content is web TV, 2D success tips, audio ebooks, video blogs, courses are the main content driven pieces. And today I had to create the title of that web TV documentary and the curriculums that associates with. So
Mhm.
when people do click on, for instance, jazz studies, it'll pull all of the content that has jazz studies in it, regardless of if it's web TV content, 2D success tips content, audio ebooks, etc. So getting back to Kristen's page, this is a type of content called 2D success tips. And so today I have to start. John just loaded this on me. This is like, and it's just part of the process, but John needs a thumbnail for the video where she teaches, which will look something like this. And
Mhm.
then I have to choose out of, why isn't this moving below? I have to choose out of the content that she talks about, the best one that has the best keyword optimization in it. And John's going, even though keywords, as you know, do not, once they're embedded in a graphic file, and they're no use to the Google search engines, but behind that file, John will add the text to this. But so this thumbnail will go here. It's very attractive. So I have to supply a photo and a thumbnail for each of all of this content.
Oh.
And John loaded that on me today, and I already am booked solid till I start work on Monday with stuff that
Um.
I got to do. So that was a little extra overwhelming, but I did get taxes done, thank God. So this is kind of the way we're stylizing the page within WordPress. Once cash comes in, we can do more customization that I'd like to see. You got your biography. We enlarged the photo here. Kristen, this is, this is the 6-minute success tip type thing. It's video introduced. They get the content here, and they get recent posts that they've looked at, and the archival material that was available in these months. John preferred to go back to 2018. There's not much here, of course, because we've only recently created a membership site with content. So I just kind of wanted to share that with you. It's all this we started to do this week, and John's has at least created the search functionality now on our FTP site. Here's all of here's the content for the Web TV series, and you can see these are the Web TV. There's 25 one-hour documentaries. I've only got 7 up there, but all these folders are complete now. John will add that into the site. So it's a tremendous amount of work.
Yes.
Most people would feel overwhelmed by. Here's another 2D success tip page, Dr. John Barcelona, who you saw
Right.
on page.
I really like the way that the layout.
I'm glad. Yeah.
The layout. It's very easy to understand, navigate, and know where you need to go. You got it, and it's predictable now. What people need to, how they can navigate through this and use it, make it very useful for them.
Yeah. So
A lot of white space, a lot of time for the eyes to kind of rest between and think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. It was immediately welcoming to me. John threw this in. This won't be the photo for this. And then of course I got to create the thumbnail for this. And all this has to get done.
Well,
so I'm going to try to get all this done by April 23rd. My wife is leaving in April sometime. I'm asking her to leave sooner with my son. Not that I want to, God knows, because then I have to cook and go shopping and do all that stuff. But they're leaving to take care of mom and dad. They've got some surgeries coming up. So that will give me more time, because my son really taps into my time and my energy.
Yeah, right.
But
so at that pace, what are you doing? Is it about like 20 a day, 30 a day?
30 what a day?
And between now and April 23rd, you're going to put the thumbnails to each one of these?
Yes, I will. I actually do work that way. I will take a look at how many pieces there are and how many I need to do per day. That does take the pressure off me
yeah. Okay, good.
But now we'll get to what we need to hear what you have prepared for tonight, and what I wanted to share with you.
Sure.
Think about was, it's inevitable. I have a launch coming up. Now, that's the date of the Tampade Flute. Let me launch in this Tampade Flute Festival. All right, so next week, Beatriz Macias, the president of the Flute Festival, sends out the email to all registered flutists to all the registered flutists for the 2D sponsorship, which is, again, that little presentation of identity. That's funnel. So we have to be prepared. The flutists will not come to the site. Excuse me, I was typing very fast.
Right.
Now I have this email. She's asking me for an email to accompany the video I already sent you. And I fixed the voice on that. My voice was low. That's all been fixed. So my question to you is, what should the subject of that email be? Now, a Tampade flutist is getting this email from Beatriz, who's sending it. The subject is everything in an email. So just something to think about. I thought, why not share that with Melania? She may have a good idea as to how to grab the attention of flutists, even though they know who I am. But, I want to make sure not everybody knows who I am. So,
is the email specifically to promote you, or is it to talk about the festival in general and this orient?
No. It's about me and that 1-minute video promo you saw where you said I like Amy's voice. That link is going to be embedded in that email. So it's about how Kelly Underwood Music Publishing.
I would take content out of your website so it mirrors what your message in the website.
Sure.
Yeah, and then because then when they do click on the link, they match it up in their heads. But the premise under which this email is being sent, that needs to be thought about. Why why would Beatrice Macia send out this email?
She's sending it out so people can be informed that during the 2-day festival, they have access to the presentation called Identity, and they will learn 3 techniques on how to build their unique self.
Right, and the festival is, what is the reason the festival is being held?
Well, it's a flute festival. They're all pretty much similar. It's a place where this is an offline festival. This is an online festival. It's not in person. So, but like any festival, it's master classes. You have vendors who sell musical instruments. You have pedagogy.
It's like a conference, right? It's an industry conference. Okay, so there will be vendors there other than you. So Beatrice,
this one's online, so it typically, if it's physical, you have vendors.
Yeah, well, and actually, I've been to conferences online where you have vendors, like a big breakout room where the vendors hang out, and you go from one vendor to the next to the next to the next in a breakout room. Yeah. So he's sending it, and his relationship with you is.
Her relationship with me is she's the president, and she asked me to sponsor the festival.
You're the sponsor. Okay. Yes. So she's got a thank you for sponsoring the festival. So that's a thank you letter, and to let people know who is sponsoring the festival. That's you. So that makes complete sense now. Yeah, as sponsor. And so just thank you. So it'd be a letter to thank Christopher Tutti Academy for sponsoring the festival, and then she should go about talking about what your benefits are, what you offer, and a little bit about you.
I'm not sure. That's a good point. I think it's first person me. I don't think it's from her. She may.
It's like third party endorsement, which is more powerful than first person.
Yeah. So we'll do it from her point of view.
Her point of view. And I would say she's thanking you, and then she describes what you do, and then she invites all the attendants to visit your website and find out about the Academy. And here's a sample. She's got a link to your identity video, which gives them an idea of the benefits that they can reap from associating with the Academy.
Got it. All right.
Yeah, short and simple though, really high level.
Yeah. No, that's why I do video.
Yeah, video says a lot too, and people expect video now.
Yeah,
they do.
All right, going on. I got that. Great. That was very helpful. Thank you, dear lady.
Oh, I'm glad.
Grand opening. So now, as far as the Academy having its grand opening and positioning that, so many ways to do it. But I'm thinking a live event out of my 2D Academy Facebook group page. And in that event will appear Amy Porter as a featured guest artist. She's one of the world's greatest living legends and double Juilliard graduate, and everybody knows her. She's the only American to win the extraordinarily challenging Kobe flute competition in Japan.
Wow.
She's remarkable, and she's commissioned 4 flute sonatas for me. She's remarkable. Anyway, the point is, she's a great attraction. So I was thinking that Amy and I will appear to launch, and this is just to share with you, you're the marketing strategy person, but and when do you position that? If in fact next week sometime, people may already from Finland be looking at the 2D site. We have a soft opening, and that soft opening, I'm skipping around here, but the soft opening would include the following. The original 25 flutists from the 2D Academy 2017 will be given free membership, of course. I think it's very important to send an invitation to them when John puts the site live to log in and get them into the academy, and have them start bringing their flutists into it.
Perfect.
I think that's fundamentally sound, and also the CEOs, naturally the CEOs who have taught on the site as well. So they get free membership. Now, getting back to the launch, if we position the launch April 18th, and again, this is all hypothetical, which is the Sunday before the following weekend where the Tampati Flute Festival opens up on their Saturday, Sunday. If we do that, what's the structure of the presentation? I could do the same thing, have a very short 15-minute overview on identity to give a sample of the types of content members will get at the Academy, and then have a Q&A afterwards with Amy Porter. In terms of driving traffic to the launch, there are a number of areas to do this. There certainly are, I think there's 780 members in the 2D
Yes.
Facebook group page itself.
I remember that number, yes.
Amy has tens of thousands of people who watch her videos on YouTube. I mean, she has her, that's another reason why I would feature her. She could bring in her people. I've got about 4,500 flutists on my Facebook personal account. I would need to know how to messenger all of them at once, an invitation. There are a number of sources to move the traffic. And there's all kinds of confederates or flute manufacturers. I could go to several manufacturers who have sizable flute newsletters. If we catch them in time for their April newsletter, they can do an introduction, an invitation, and say Christopher's going to appear live with Amy Porter for the grand opening of the new 2D Academy launch. Here are sources down here, right? Yeah. So there's the Caliento database itself. And I also have about, 1,500 people on my LinkedIn profile. Some of them are flutists. I mean, there's about 200 probably that are flutists there. I do very much want to start an empowering my Instagram account, to start using that intelligently and build up. So, what do we need to do? What can we do? And to create a really cool launch. And what is the subsequent action necessary to create and maintain momentum are the two big questions of the night.
So that Facebook Live is recorded, you could share it over and over and over again.
Yeah,
you can share it on LinkedIn, all the social media. You'll put it obviously on the front of your website. I think it should be up in front and center. Yeah. Amy Porter is, being the Juilliard and famous person she is, with all of her wonderful accomplishments, you want to play that. And I didn't realize who she was when you sent me her recording. She's got a beautiful voice. She interviewed the two of you.
We have been friends. We're very, 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 very different. She will tell you this, my music literally put her on another level. The greatest, most influential, most respected, there are two flutists in the world that are beyond, Robert Langevin of the New York Philharmonic, who rarely gives interviews. I filmed him for a fabulous piece he commissioned Flute Sonata 6 for me and premiered it here in California. But I filmed him that week, and he gave pedagogic insights on how to perform that very rare interview. That's worth $1 billion. But the other person is Peru, in the Berlin Philharmonic flutist, Berlin Philharmonic Symphony.
Yes, world class, yes.
So he met me at a trade show. I didn't know who he was. But after Amy recorded the 8th Flute Sonata, which put both of us on the map, he came up to me and grabbed me by the lapels. And he said, I cannot thank you enough for what you are doing for the flute. Your music is what it's doing for the flute. And he just grabbed me, went off. And so I asked someone, who was that crazy person? And they said, that's Peru. And I went, oh my God, what a compliment.
Yeah. So you're best friends by now, right?
I haven't yet. I've never met him again. I mean, he's really does not travel to these flute conventions. There's a big one, the National Flute Convention. As cash comes in, I will be advertising. I will be going back and doing my trade shows. And
yes, and hook into him. Yeah, link up with him again. Remind him.
Well,
Did you
actually, I
remember
wish I
him?
had the time. I would compose a
For
sonata for him.
him?
He's
Dedicated.
he's really something else.
Yeah.
His Mozart is like when money. It's a way to see God. It's just
Oh,
incredible.
oh,
Um,
okay.
so anyway, so that's the top.
Besides being a soft introduction or opening for your website, are the two of you going to share? And you're going to talk about the identity program, but are you and Amy going to talk about how you each built your businesses, or what what is your entrepreneurial story? I think that would be really nice to share on Facebook Live, because you're going to be sharing tips to people on how to build their careers. And it would be nice for the two of you to share your own stories.
The story is unknown, and it's a great story of why I pivoted into commercial banking and why I feel more than ever that it's necessary to have an academy like this. I mean, that's a given. I will tell that story now. My mouse battery is very low. Oh, goodness.
Yeah, it's a story that needs to be told on that day.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Now, I'm going here because content, video blogs. I just finished this.
And
Now,
you did make a video of it and put it on Facebook, right? Yeah, there it is.
I just interviewed Amy on,
Mhm.
Reese Witherspoon is her, I guess, huge influencer because she does fashion, she does cosmetics, soaps. And so Amy's starting to do this. So what I do when I interview, these are my video blogs, and they're very, very well done. I fill in graphics to accent what she's talking about. And this is the kind I recommend books. It's so many
Very
takeaways here.
content rich, yes.
Very content rich. So that was done last week, and we just going to recently post that. But she was talking about her entrepreneurial life and met her husband, who's a soap manufacturer. How she learned a lot of business tips from him, and then she decided to launch into this new person. I'm not just a flute player, and I'm okay with that, which is something we teach at the academy. We have a resident psychiatrist that talks about them changing your mindset to accept the fact that it's okay not just to do music, but there's something analogous that can affect your music positively and your image.
Yeah.
So her image is changing. So we can talk about Amy's image. I think there's so many things we can do to make this work. It has to be about members too. So we have to make sure.
Yes, it is for them. So yeah, it is for them, and that's why you're telling this story. How long is your Facebook Live going to be?
Don't know. I just started typing this out half an hour.
What's the attention span, you think? I mean, you want it to be fast paced but interesting at the same time, but you don't want to go on. You don't want to give away too much either.
I think an hour is really, really what it should be. And I have so much energy that I find people like I've been doing I have a podcast with the Royal Academy of Music this Sunday, and they want to interview me for their podcast, reaches a lot of Europe about the 2D Academy. And I find that when I do podcasts, my energy is like, they just don't want me to stop, but Amy's more laid back. She's from a farm town. She's kind of like this. She's really cool. She's down to earth. And I'm the other, I'm the eccentric Mediterranean guy. So.
Yeah.
But it's okay. You need all that. I was thinking that, one of the attention spanners that we use as a tactic, both you and me, is that you create a little carrot at the end of the video. So watch the presentation to the end, you get a gift, right? So
yeah, that's right.
I mean, we're going to be doing that. I thought of, I've been involving myself in a lot of these types of online events, and I'll tell you some strategies I picked up. Well, for the Academy, I think it's obvious. Those of you who register in a certain period of time will get the first month free. So John and I already created a coupon for that first month free. So those people who put that in, they get into the Academy, we get their emails, first month is free. And that's why we want to drive a lot of people into that room, because they're going to get a piece of the type of content, which is going to blow their minds, guaranteed. And then they're going to get my backstory, Amy's backstory. Amy's going to be there. They're going to be really, really engaged with her. And then we tell them, we walk them through the site. Maybe we share our screen and say, this is what it is. This is the type of content. And those of you who, and maybe before, we create some very fascinating ways of gaining points to win a grand prize. And I was thinking about this. For every really good piece of chat, they get a point. For every, if they publicize this right now on their own social media groups, or is there a way on their own social media groups and they tag me, they get 5 points. If they do the homework assignment in the 15-minute tutorial and send it to me, they get an additional 20 points. So, you know, there's a way to do this now. I know it's a nightmare. I've talked to everyone who did the point thing and said, oh, it's so much work. But if I love the idea of maybe it's just doing 1 point thing, and that would be sharing it on their own social media. Is there a way they can add this live event on their social before the event starts, and then they'll get points for that, and they'll get a free gift? You know, there can be fun here to make this viral, right?
Right. Yeah, you get this multiplier viral effect. Absolutely. Yeah, they can share it. They're in the audience, they can share it. And it'll be shared. They can share it to specific people. They can share it to everyone who has liked them. It's up to them. But yes, and you'll have evidence because it's all documented on your Facebook Live feed underneath.
Right. Okay. So obviously, in order
to have to monitor it, though.
What's that?
So, well, you'll probably want to have it monitored. Well, yeah, you'll have a running record. Never mind. Yeah.
The notion of now that we, in my opinion, I like to work backwards. So as we fine tune what the event is, how it's going to be organized, what day, what time of day, then work backwards and create marketing material for that. So I think next week, you know, when we do get together, I would like to talk about, or maybe in the interim, it doesn't have to be every Thursday, because that would be like, that's hard for me because I get so many ideas every day, and I don't want to bother her. And
well, write them down.
Yeah. So
write them down.
The notion is definitely to come up with the right marketing material and a sequence of pieces to gain initiative on this.
Are the two,
it's exciting.
It's very exciting. And I'm going to jump topic a little bit. Are the two of you going to play something together?
No, I don't think so. I mean, she can, we haven't even thought of that.
It would be a nice interlude.
Yeah, I do that at my symposiums. I mean, I do that at like in business. I rented out country clubs and financial experts. One day I blew people's minds, and it was so funny. I actually played live with my wife.
Yeah.
And you know what it did? I always have two guest speakers. First guest speaker comes, everyone's engaged, right? Half an hour later, they're like falling asleep, you know? So we announce a break. They get their coffee, they come to the bathroom, they come back. I hit them with a flamenco guitar piece and flute.
Wow.
And nobody knew me as a guitarist. They you know, a music composer, right?
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, do you know who benefited from that? Mob psychology.
Yeah.
Well, I benefited to a certain degree. It makes great conversation for subsequent lunches and coffees. But the next guest speaker, that audience was charged. And it happened to be one of my attorneys. He was so grateful to me. He goes, that room was alive when I spoke.
They were.
So that was kind of neat. So it's kind of neat.
But it's nice to get it because they're all flute players. It's their life. So just feed them a little bit of music. And
well, we can do that. I mean, I think Amy would probably, the fidelity is junky. It's junky over, you know, Zoom is great with audio and actually the way that it looks, but in terms of musical instruments, I mean, Amy plays a $30,000 flute. I play an $18,000 guitar, and
there you
but
go.
we can play something that's been pre-recorded.
Yes. That's another idea. How about the piece that you wrote for Amy?
Well, yeah, I've written.
Or many, where you pick one of your favorites. And that's the collaboration going on. That's part of what they need to start thinking about, how to collaborate. Because that's leads to more entrepreneurialism, doesn't it?
Um, let me think. I'm going to do this because it's going to help me think.
Yeah. Okay.
But if I just quickly, uh, what would that be? Yeah. So, actually, let me just do this. I was going to say this is 6 minutes, but you know, she's like,
She's magic. Oh my God.
yeah, you got an idea of her
Oh
talent.
my gosh, the virtuoso.
Oh yeah,
Oh, extraordinary.
that was the Ghost Sonata. That was the third movement. I composed that. I was 7 years ago, I think, 2011, right? So, wow, longer than that now. But
Wow.
anyway, that is the story of Ichabod Crane, the story of the Headless Horseman, the Hessian
Oh, yes,
soldier.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
That's like
So you can actually
Halloween.
feel the footsteps. Yeah, it's
Yeah. You
beautiful.
can feel the footsteps. Okay. You might even tell a story a little bit, but like you
But
just
I
made it.
think Amy would certainly say, why not?
Yeah,
But
why
I don't
not?
want to show off, you know, in a sense, I don't want to feel like, that's why I'm hesitant right now, I guess.
No, no, no. Well, I think
But it shows collaboration.
it shows your that the level that the two of you are at.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they hadn't heard it, they might have heard it, but they need to be reminded. And it's just a nice little, I think, touch.
Okay. We
Yeah.
can also play just a snippet of it, but I'll
Just a
talk to her
snippet of it. Yeah, a snippet of it. Then the two of you can relax and just let the recording work.
and we can relax.
And you can relax. Yeah, a little breath for you two. A little break for, yeah, a little break for everyone.
I owe her a lullaby. She's doing an album of lullabies
Yeah.
this Sunday, of course.
And then, yeah, and there has to be a nice segue into that part of the program. So you'll figure it out. I'm sure. I know you will. But that would
Yeah,
be just,
she could also, we could do it like it's like the Dean Martin show or the Voltaires and just have it all scripted. So she can talk about the Ghost Sonata and say, hey, Christopher, let's fly in a movement of your wonderful piece or whatever. And then I don't feel like I did it. You know,
yeah,
that's
that's right.
basically what I'm
Let
doing.
her sing you praises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all right. So, so that's on my mind,
Well,
Naomi. I just
yeah,
want
that's wonderful. And also I want people to see how the friendship the bond that you have. That's really important.
yeah,
Yeah, it's really important.
that comes across very naturally when we're together.
Yes, and it does. And you don't have to say anything about it. They will get it.
Yeah.
Their owners will get it. And that's part of what's needed because they can't be isolated. They need to get out and engage. And that, like the two of you have, you're showing that you're engaged with each other and you enrich each other's lives. And that's what the entrepreneur is looking for too.
Yeah. Very true. So the other thing that's on my mind, and John could not agree with me more, is looking for a social media content manager. I absolutely need one.
Yes, you
Uh,
do.
and I did a lot of research that I didn't want to do, but I did 3 days ago. And I literally studied so many things online about the language of hiring someone, how much you should charge, what you can get, the advantages of paying monthly as opposed to week. I went through every single corner and it came up with a profile for a social media content manager because I just do not have the time for this,
Mhm.
which is the typical burden that most entrepreneurs face is they realize they need someone. These people get paid up to 120 grand a year for highly professional companies. But what I did was I chose to market or target my research for institutions and universities. How are universities using social media managers to create momentum and members? And I found some very interesting, important information there that I'm glad I took the time. Um, they use, of course, an influencer. They use influencers. It's very interesting how they will target um, other websites that or other social media groups that have very large followings and pay the owner of that following a fee to advertise their university on their website. That's how Alabama's football team got 800,000 members, which they had the students, of course, help them. But that's one way. And the other way is that they created their own unique hashtags that became very popular in the search engines. And that was something it was new to me. I was, oh, isn't that clever? Um,
Mhm.
so anyway, it's endless, the strategies, what can be done. So I need to share that with you to say, I need to find someone to do that for me. The basic low rate for 0 to 3 years experience, they call it a green. I don't know why they call it a green social media content manager is 400 a month with an incentive in a meritocratic company like ours, is that if their social media proves helpful to the company, that they get some type of incentive for that.
Mhm.
Um, and I'm thinking out loud here, but uh,
No, that's
this
an
is something
excellent.
that I'm very determined about this. I mean, where you seem to be, your strengths are marketing strategies, which I'm looking forward to hearing you talk after I unwind here.
Mhm.
Is the social media content manager is very different from a marketing strategist. I would imagine both of you would work together in concert, but uh,
Mhm.
if I'm supplying a lot of the content, which I presume I will, their fee doesn't have to be as high
Mhm.
because I'm not at the point yet where we have enough cash flow to send out 80 grand to a social media manager and
And
have them do all the content, which would be such a blessing.
bear this in mind too. You can always have it on a contingency. They have to, if they don't perform, you'll replace them. But I mean, I don't want to have like the hammer over the head kind of thing, but protect yourself
Yeah,
by not getting locked into a situation where you can't let somebody go who's not a good fit.
right.
And it would be nice if they appreciated music too. I would put that as one of the criteria. They know something about music.
Sure.
So if you're not around and they can make an independent decision, an executive decision to post something, well, maybe everything should go through you, but you're not going to have a lot of time. So to a large degree, you're going to have to trust that person to make some good decisions, especially if you can't oversee everything.
True. One of the safeguards that I used when I hired someone in 2017 for the academy was every week we just looked at the analytics. Every week we got together for coffee, sat down and run me the analytics. What's working, what's not working.
Right. It's a
That
good practice.
Yeah, that kind of time, of course I have. And that's what a CEO should do is just observe, not micromanage. I'm not a believer in that.
Right.
So anyway, that's just the piece I wanted to share with you tonight. That's where my mind can only be at right now because I can't take any more. I mean,
Right. Well, and it could be you just bought yourself a little time because you have you're generating leads from the Finnish festivals coming up and also through the Facebook Live that you're holding with Amy.
I think these two are the driving factors for now. Can't
Mhm.
take any more on, but they
Oh,
also can be identical. We can use the same content if, in fact, we're going to drive the identity overview. Uh, in this case, with Amy, is to basically show an example of the type of content we teach at the academy.
mm-hmm.
And then for the Tampari Food Festival, it's really a sales funnel to drive people to either buy the bigger cost course or get it for free with their
I
membership.
get it for free. And in the email, going back to the email that's going to be sent out,
Yeah.
where does the link take people to? Do you have a landing page?
The link actually will take them to the video you saw. And yes, to answer your question,
On the same page, there's a call to action. A call to action. Oh, this, okay. Asking them to join or
no, I'll show you.
to join the academy, because
I'll show you. Just
we want to make it easy for them to join.
Oh, it's beautiful the way we did it.
Yeah,
It's a work of art. I just need to find it for you. I'm tired today. Sorry. Our Fish Monday presentation. Here it is. I found it. Yay!
Yay!
So here's what it looks like. What happens is before they come to this, they actually have to register. So maybe that's.
Yeah, that's. They have to leave their email and.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a very small template, beautifully done. Name, email. I am not a robot, and they get an email with the link that takes them to here. So here's the 16-minute presentation.
Right.
Right. And at the end of this presentation, I don't know if John loaded this up yet.
Yeah. On the same page, there should be a form that says join now. The same page.
No, we haven't talked about it yet. This is the presentation. And at the end
of $50 or receive the course.
Because you're already talking about how to join, but there's no way to join on the page.
Not yet. We're not talking yet. We're just about there going to talk about it right here. But I just want to make sure. I want to see if John actually put up the latest one.
To learn about the 2D Academy membership program, click on the link Your 2D Membership Benefits. At the end of the 3-minute overview, you will have a surprise gift waiting for you from Caliendo World Music Publishing.
Yeah, so this is not enjoy the benefit overview to your right. It's here where we talk about the 2D Academy. And at the end of this.
Since its inception in the 2007 and the 2D Academy family.
It's too much work. You need to make it simpler.
And then not make it simpler. They have to take a course and they have to know what the 2D Academy is.
Yeah.
And this is what Beatrice, the president, wanted. This was in this video. And she said, can you separate the two?
Okay.
And I have to listen to her.
Yeah.
But if you think you should put a link here, yes, I agree with that.
I know. Yes, I think you should put a link and it'll take them to where they can sign up.
That's a good idea.
Because they're ready. You primed them.
You got it. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the whole purpose of this page, is to prime them. And then they're going to be wondering, what do I do next? And so make it easy.
I will tell you, I could not have done a better job. I could not have made it easier. I have to teach them here. At the end, I have to give them a proactive to watch this and get a free gift. And this follows all the typical stuff that I've learned. And at the very end, they get the link to go to where to register. But you're absolutely correct. From here to the 2D Academy, enrollment is a leap.
Yeah.
And why not add a link here and make it easier?
Yeah, we want to make it easy for people. That they're spending 17 minutes going through your mini course, and then you're asking to watch another 2-minute video. That's almost 20 minutes. That's a long time.
Oh, that's nothing for a musician. This is a sponsorship. Yeah, it's a different thing the way it's going to be promoted. But again, the intelligence behind this was incredible content, mind-blowing, life transformational content here. And then I can get the full course here and a gift at the end of it. Now tell me I'm wrong about that, because if there's a better way to do it, all ears.
Right. And
all ears.
Yeah, one of the other things I'd suggest is to have some verbiage here. So do they have to watch the video? What if they're ready before they even watch the video? They read the letter.
I hate to reiterate, but this is all teaching, all
Yes.
the way to the very end. This is a course.
Yeah.
So they don't know about the academy until right here, and then they have to learn about it here.
Okay.
Right. So that's the bridge.
Membership to the Tutti Academy.
Boom. It's
Yeah.
1658.
Mm-hmm.
And here all of a sudden they go, oh, what's the Tutti Academy? I've never heard of it before.
Yeah.
So they're not going to click to buy it. They're gonna want to know.
Yeah, they will. Can you put words underneath it to them that kind of highlight what they're what they're engaging with? It could be just a couple of sentences.
Here?
Yes, underneath it, or describing what these 2 videos are about. Besides.
Yeah, I presume John can do
Yeah.
that. Sure.
Yeah, just put brief descriptions of what the videos are, and then a link to join.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's. What if you're, yeah.
I agree with that.
Make it simple.
I really did make it simple. I mean,
Yes, you did. No.
It's interesting when someone else looks at your hours of tremendous work and consummate knowledge, and they go, make it simple, and you go, and you crash. I mean, I'm not a crashing type, but it's like,
No, yeah,
I
no.
really thought about this. I've got a guy working for Bill Gates for 15 years who likes to make things simple, and
Yeah,
it's not simple.
that's right. No, exactly. No, it's not simple, and that's the genius of it. You figure out how, right?
Yes. That's the other additive of
Mhm.
I'm not sure this is gender related, but why I absolutely adore working with women is that they just see things so different. And my culture,
Mhm.
my fan base is a female fan base. So
Oh,
great,
there you
grateful,
go.
grateful
Yeah.
to have these
this
important
little-
ideas, because there's a lot of space here. It's all white.
Yes, opportunity to be a little bit more engaging, because people, learn differently. I mean, maybe flutists don't; they're very auditory oriented and visual, but
Now you got me thinking.
I like text too, to kind of, okay, what am I getting into? I'm going to spend 17 minutes watching this. What am I think I know what I'm getting into, but if you give me a little primer, just take like a brief introduction is all. A clue.
Well, I thought it was very cute to
Mm-hmm.
in the minute promotion
Yeah.
to get people to watch this.
Mm-hmm.
I used Jackie Chan in there. Who I work with. See that? Did you see that? Did you see that?
No, I know I didn't see that.
Well, if you liked Amy's voice, you probably saw the 1-minute video I
I
sent.
must have, but I didn't recognize that it was him. Okay, there you go.
Oh, really? I said you're going to learn 3 success tips from me and the other guy, and they were back spinning
Jackie Chan. Okay.
anyway. But it's true. I mean, Jackie inspired one of those techniques that I taught. So I thought that was very cute marketing. But anyway, so what you're making me think is this doesn't have to be responses, but add a chat and receive points for a grand prize or
there
something.
You go. Yes.
Got to tell people what to do, right?
You do. Yeah, you have to. They follow directions, and yeah, you have to be explicit, charming, and explicit.
I'm thinking of a movie as good as it gets with Jackie.
Oh yes, yeah, Helen Hunt. Yeah, and
when he's in the elevator and that girl goes, "How do you write such great female characters or great male characters?" He goes, I think of a girl wrapped up in.
Oh no, it's right. Yes.
Get points.
Yeah, and he didn't even think twice about what he said.
I was so jacked. So
yes, it is.
so that's great. We can use that there, and then this will be learn 3 techniques or whatever this is.
Yeah. Huh.
And then this is invitations and awards or something. I don't know. What do you want to put it? I mean, it says membership benefits here.
Yeah. Oh, join now. I mean, start your journey now. Start your financial journey now, or start your journey to entrepreneurship now, or start your journey with Tutti Academy now.
Okay.
Yeah, and then with a button.
Oh, yes. Okay, right. Add link. Yeah, okay, got it. All right. So, and then add the link here as opposed to
Right,
here.
yeah.
This is
Mm-hmm.
that's a great idea. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Like you. Marvel.
Oh, thank you. I want this to be a huge, and it sounds like, gosh, you've got so many engines revving up here.
Yeah, and it's been a hard week, and sorry about that, but I'm actually very good at taking care of myself. So it's just there are periods in time, as you know, when you got to pull an all-nighter and everything seems to come at you at once, and
Mhm. Yeah,
and
yeah,
this is just
right.
one of those weeks for me, I think. And but what John did this morning, I had pretty much, I was on point with the musical, with all this stuff, and then John threw an avalanche on me today.
Oh, yeah, yep, yep. He,
Well, the thing is,
he sideswiped you,
yeah, what I'm concerned about
blindsided you, yeah.
is that I keep thinking, now I'm thinking of this, I'm thinking, people, we're going to go live and people are going to go into the site. And if they don't get what I'm marketing, if they don't get what I'm promoting, if they're not going to have that user experience that is so fantastically, overwhelmingly great, we're screwed after all this work. In a way, I mean, you can always regroup and rebuild things,
Yeah.
but you want people to have the wow factor and to just start talking to the people.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Right.
Right, right.
And that's why I created the curriculums. I figured, okay, this is not going to be as rigid as academia, where you're really taught, Harmony 1, Harmony 2, and solfege. Everything's very, very rigid.
Very
In this case, you just simply choose your curriculum, and all of the interests, all the content of that curriculum is in your journey. But you choose your journey, your own time, your own way, your own manner. And hopefully, if they talk back to me, they'll say, I really like the audio ebooks more than the podcast or whatever. But we'll sculpt it as we go along, as long as we're having a really great user experience.
Yes, yeah, great user experience, absolutely. Is there anywhere where you're going to ask for feedback?
Yeah, I have. John has it on his roster of things to do. Obviously, for this particular vehicle, we will be replicating this sales funnel with all the flute societies that we endorse. But here we want people to chat here, of course. And when we do a live Zoom with Amy Porter, we obviously want dialogue in the chat box. And it is very possible that may go over an hour just because of the inducement we may get in the chat area.
Yeah, you'll see how your audience is.
Amy and I are really pretty way up the hierarchy of the flute world. So we'll see how intense that is.
Yeah, it's gonna.
And to your point, I'm sorry, but it may benefit us to just show up and say how many of you would like us to appear next month.
That's right. Make it a regular.
Yeah. Don't think I'm going to have Carol Winston's from Juilliard, who's a bigger drawer than Amy.
Right. So you can pre-announce him. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. John is putting an events calendar into the site.
Oh, that's perfect. Yes, and you can let people know do they have to be members to see the events?
Another good question, because yes, they have to be members, but they can certainly share. They should be able to share that information on their own social media, sort of like Clubhouse works. We have to do something like that. But to add to your comment, there is both public and private content. So the public content is going to be sorry, I'm spinning around here. It's going to be video blogs. Video blog is going to be public content. It looks like this. But this is all the top posts in the various blogs and podcasts and radio shows.
Very appealing. Nice look.
And when you click on any one of these, they have the same style.
I am privileged to be with my friend Christina Stefan, who blessed.
Okay, so they look like this, and they get a description. Actually, there's a better one than this. This is the. Let me just give this one to show.
I like the magazine style.
here is what we're doing. We are basically saying in this video blog, in my interview, we discussed, and here is all the points of discussion. So the origins, how it evolved, the technology used, the pros and cons of performing ethnic music as a classical musician, where she sees herself 10 years from now. So this is really like a magazine, like, chapters within the video. And I don't have the time right now to put timers on these, although in the future we will. Although I spoke to different flutists, and flutists generally, the timers are really cool. I think they're more cool with corporate people, but flutists like to watch and see the whole thing in general. But so they're going to look like that. Every single content piece is going to be italicized with these chapters, so they're going to know what the content is before they view it.
Yeah, you've synopsized it for the Cliff's Notes.
Yeah, exactly.
Cliff Notes. And the keywords, if you can weave them into that first sentence.
Yes. John wrote this quickly. How to make jazz sound like inspired improvisation is supposed to be the title, but how to make written jazz sound like inspired improvisation.
Right. So the first sentence is about John Barcelona.
Yeah, this is John's background. All these short bios were given to me by the flutists themselves.
His name is the key word here, so that's great.
Yeah. Yeah, Westwood Wind Quintet has 25 albums out. They're the premier wind quintet recording artists in the world. Caliendo Trio. Anyway,
wonderful.
We're going to be doing keywords a little later.
Yeah, that can be done anytime.
But boy, John gave me such a fantastic.
He did a fantastic job. It's a beautiful website.
He did a 30-minute presentation on SEO and keyword. And I just realized, how much I've been missing in my life in terms of sales. Oh God! Without really putting the homework in and separating the boys from the men on doing all the keyword optimization for every piece of content.
Yes, every page, every piece of content, all the pictures. Yep. All the video. Yep.
So here we are. So I'll let you take it from here. I'm sorry, I really took an hour of your time, so we should probably end in a couple of minutes. But that all made sense to you?
It does. Perfect sense. Yes, perfect sense. And I think you should be ready for this thing to just blow up in your face, blow up. You're doing massive marketing. Just get ready for this thing to really blow up.
Yeah, I am. Anyway, let me let you talk. Please take it from here. I'm very tired.
Yes, you are very tired. Yes, and I just really don't have much to add right now.
Did this you?
Yeah, I want to complicate what you're doing now, because you're on a good track. And as far as getting, probably where I can help the most is trying to help you find a social media person. Can you share with me the criteria you're looking for?
I don't know where I put that, but let me think about it. Just give me. I actually know that my brain is. Social media. Oh, maybe it's into John. I'm sorry, Nathan.
Yeah.
Wait. I'm trying to remember where I put that. Do John here. Oh, there's so much to do for John. I just fallen away with this one. I can go do it from memory.
Okay. Go ahead. Or I can also find one and see if, a description of qualifications and see if you agree with it. I do have a friend who is a social media person. She's a new mom. She's from Italy.
Oh, really?
Yes. I knew you'd love her right away. She's born there. And yeah, exactly.
Quale città? What city?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Run some names by me. Maybe I'll recognize.
And she's a new mom?
She just had her first baby last year.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, precious. But she's a stay-at-home mom. Oh, well.
What's your name? Maz.
Oh, Liam. Yeah, her name is last name is Valente, and it's
Her last name is what?
Valentino. Or no,
Latino.
It used. Okay, wait a minute. Gosh, I haven't took.
It's okay. You let me know later, but we're looking for
Yeah.
something with, obviously this is a startup company. We don't have much social media. We're pushing a rock up the mountain, like you said last Thursday.
Yeah, she's
Um,
very well written. She writes really well and from the heart. Like
Well, that would make sense.
long
Lady.
blogs.
She's Italian. I can't imagine her not writing from the heart.
Very passionate. Yes.
Oh,
Very
gee.
yes.
I know the
Very-
Italian.
Yeah, and she may be willing to just for the experience work with you.
Let's find out. What is her experience? Do you know what her
I can
experience
take her
is?
later. Yeah, she's got her own company. She's a social media,
Oh,
own
gee.
social media company.
Oh, gee.
Yeah,
She
so
has her own
it
company.
wouldn't hurt to introduce you to, right? You both speak Italian, so she would love
Yeah.
it.
Sure. So would I. I mean, I get a chance to exercise the beautiful language. You know,
Yes, it is a gorgeous language. Gaia, Gaia, Valentino.
Gaia. It actually means God, goddess.
Yeah,
In
Gaia.
ancient cultures, it was the god of Earth.
Right, right. And her husband's well, he's an American, so that's why they're here.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Would you give me 30 seconds to use the
Yeah.
bathroom?
Of course, of course. And I
Then
just
you can,
one other thing, and then I'll let you go.
just use the bathroom. Thank you, Doug.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you hear me saying,
Mm-hmm.
I have to use the bathroom,
Oh,
what it means is I had to go compose music that's in my head because it was interfering with my ability to communicate with you. I heard a lovely boys choir sing it's just like so spectacular. And I see this ensuing battlefield open up and the sun is just beginning to rise and these boys are just singing out across this copse of land. And anyway, this stuff comes to me. So I write it on toilet paper and I docket it.
oh, that's the way a genius's mind works, doesn't it?
You're dealing with a madman.
Oh. Well, anyway, let me run. I'll introduce the two of you, and we'll see where it goes from there. So I'll let you two handle it.
All right, we'll see.
Okay, but the last thing I wanted to talk about today was I did a little competitor research.
Okay.
And yeah, you're right. Basically, the only places where students can get entrepreneurial training is in universities. I found some. And you don't have people take the SATs or interview or do a audition with you to join, right, the academy. But of course, the music schools do. But more and more, they are now also incorporating entrepreneurialism as part of the curriculum. I found one at Juilliard has one. It's called the Alan D. Marks Center for Career Services and Entrepreneurship. But you have to be a student at Juilliard.
And at my academy, you get Juilliard in the academy.
Exactly. So that's it's good we're doing this because you're
I'll tell you why it's great you're doing this, and you know this already. But I'll tell, like Al Pacino said in Sea of Love to Elaine Bake, what's her name? Pretty girl. Anyway, unusual looking. But I'm telling you so you know that I told you so. But the reason why that's really great is because it helps us market.
Exactly. And pick up where they left off or where, where they had some gaps.
Yeah. I mean, basically, this is a way to sell it. Why study entrepreneurialism at your, well, I shouldn't say that. You can't say that.
Yeah.
Well, you know where I'm going.
Yeah. Or even those who couldn't make it in to their school of choice, right? Yeah, they're not rejects, but they just, but there's another avenue and you're posing that alternative. And that's, you say that, but we need to kind of harp on that a little bit.
Great. I say it without having to go back to college to earn a business or finance degree.
Yeah, exactly. And then we'll expound on that a little bit more. And the value for what they get. Yeah. Yes, it's amazing. You can lease out your libraries to these giant institutions. Okay, next question. So the others are, I found the.
By the way,
yes,
Linnea, I didn't want one. It may not be foreseeable in your mind, but what I'm doing with people like Brian Connors and Dennis Kushner, not so much Dennis because he's kind of a curmudgeon, God bless him, but boy is he a curmudgeon. It's all about Dennis.
It's all about what?
All about Dennis. It's all about Dennis. When he gets
with Dennis,
it's all about Dennis. Isn't it? Aren't men funny? The men with the most formidable, staunchant, almost intrepid and implacable fortitude have the lowest self-esteem. It's very interesting.
It is interesting. They're covering up, overcompensating.
Very phenomenal. I'll write to Dennis. Dennis, thank you. So I'm sorry I haven't gotten back to you. My wife's mother had a seizure. I had to be in Arizona.
Is that
do you
true?
mind if I it's true, yeah.
Wow.
Do you mind if I get back to you next week? Dennis's reply. Take a look at this video, but he will never acknowledge that my mother had a seizure. It's all about Dennis. He's so wrapped up in Dennis. But that aside, what I wanted to share with you is if you feel that for your organization, SEO Breakout, that you wanted to give 3 tips and be an adjunct faculty on the Academy to promote what you do, because I don't have anything like that on the Academy. So just keep in your mind that you may want to use this as a teaching platform just for these young people who will get older and have their own businesses and be with the Academy and may say, hey, there's an Linnea, here's a contact information, let me reach out. I mean, that's another one thing what we do is we promote these musicians, especially, the professors get to recruit these musicians. So we're going to have, in the future, when it grows, I'm going to make sure that I have another search engine that deals with geography. So the flute professors in California, in Paris, in Italy, we're at China. So if you want to study with Young Ma in Beijing, you'll be able to have this Academy be a go-to. And then my sister Donna, who is a Swarthmore graduate, 4.0 CUME, and then she went to Yale, which was a piece of cake for her master's in theology and French. She has her own business, and she lives in Bronxville, which is a very high-end area, the Westchester County, New York City area, her and her husband. And she makes $200 an hour for students coming over to prepare applying to college. All she does is look at a student's profile and says, these 8 schools would be perfect for you. And I'm going to take you through the application process and show you the strategies and tips to get into these colleges. That's her expertise.
Awesome. Yes. Awesome. Yes.
Fascinating intel. So imagine having someone like that on the Academy.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's so much I have in my head that I want to do.
Yes, you do. Your head is exploding with them.
It's just, for the first time in my life, I'm actually taking actual medication to sleep better. I've never had this happen to me before.
Because your brain has just gone wild. It's just so much stimulation. Well, I just want to run through some other things here for us to think about, and I just really congratulate you on the wonderful, outstanding work. You are embarking on a huge legacy type business. This is impacting people at so many different levels.
Yeah, thank you, Neeling.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to getting to a place where
Yes,
we can
It'll-
use your services on a much higher level too,
yes.
complement you with that. So
All right, and I appreciate your offering, giving me a forum, within your organization. I'd love that.
yeah,
It would be my honor.
yeah, I will add you with, we'll certainly add you with whether you provide some lesson of this or that and that, but we need it to also be a place where we can promote what you do. So think about that, because you know better than I do.
Yeah, I just want to be around you. You make me feel smarter.
I have a gift for recognizing talent.
Yeah. So in Indiana has the Jacobs Academy.
Yeah,
Also, yeah. And then South Carolina has a School of Music, and they also have an entrepreneurial program. But all of these are higher educational institutions that students have to pass an SAT exam to get into. They have to be admitted, but you don't have those hurdles for them.
Mhm.
They just need to be flute players and love and want to do something with it. There's one. Are all flutists members of the National Flute Association?
No,
Okay.
no. The thing about that is what's really cool about one of my fantastic web television series, my dear friend from University of the Pacific in Northern California,
Mhm.
and Christopher Lee from Canada, both said out loud, what's great about the 2D Academy is it's for all those people who can't afford going to the National Flute Association.
Oh, what
And
is?
I went, that one we got to drive home, because
Yes.
no one in 2017 ever. I was the first person in the world to come up with an online academy that basically simulated the National Flute Convention as an
Oh,
online experience. I had my own exhibitors hall. All the vendors, the flute manufacturers, the publishers of flute music, they were all online.
yeah.
So when you watched a 1-hour documentary interview, an Oprah Winfrey type reporter interview,
Mhm.
throughout the course of that, the flutist would highlight and fly in performances or pedagogy or publications they produced. Anything in that video was on sale in the exhibitors hall. So they had a link. If you liked Claire, if you liked her music, blah, 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 click here, direct link to the exhibitors hall where she's selling her stuff. And that was linked to Flute World, the largest distributor of flute music, including my own publications that were shown. It's fascinating. And,
Very
we,
fascinating. Wow.
and now look at, here we are in 2021. And if I had kept up that social media for 5 years.
Oh, you'll get there fast. Knowing you. Yeah, you'll get there fast. Now, who does belong to the National Flute Association?
I do. Many, the actual book that comes out yearly, I can show you a copy of one of those books look like, but they have, actually, it's right here. I want right here.
Uh-huh.
I only just want going to this now is because I want to see if all the emails. I'm wondering if it's downstairs. Anyway, I'll find out.
Oh, okay. Because I don't know if we want to exclude them necessarily. We want to maybe find a way to include them.
They're a nonprofit.
Yeah, they're a nonprofit, but we're interested in their members.
No, I'm a commercial member. I usually have a good memory for where every book is in my. I mean, I do have a good memory. All right. Anyway,
Do you have to be making a living on playing the flute to be a member?
No,
No.
no, you pay a fee. You pay a fee, a yearly fee. With that fee, you get the Flute Quarterly, which is their magazine, comes out on a quarterly basis. And you could advertise in the Flute Quarterly. It reaches, they are a foundation that's been existing for 41 years, 42 years. They have thousands of flutists that have, you know, there's attrition, like members come in and out. They announce every year a National Flute Association Lifetime Member Award and a special dinner for that person at the trade show. But it's very auspicious, and anybody and everybody who's in the flute world attends. I attended for like 9 years straight. I was interrupted with the Great Recession and other things, and pushing my company into all digital and letting go of my sheet music as hard copies. That set me back for a couple of years. I haven't attended in a couple of years, but I will start doing that now with a new banner. You know, Tutti Academy and also Octavate will be on a banner, and it'll be a very different booth than what I'm accustomed to. I mean, people know me as a composer and as a guitarist, big time. They don't know me less as an educator. So we're moving into the educational space, piggybacking on, they know me as this, you know, a high-end composer for that world.
But not as a flutist necessarily.
That was the great thing, that I was this, you know, wild guitar player, world music guitarist, who brought tango to the flute world. And I brought my tango dances. It was like a Vegas show, that 1998, that first trade show we went to, and that was what's
passion running through it. Yeah.
You're not used to this. Most of these flutists that come are from the rural states. They're very simple, marvelous, simple folk. And when they saw tango dancers come and walk, it was like, you know, Elvis Presley coming to your home and saying hello. It was just a major event.
Yeah.
And then we brought gypsy dancers and then flamenco, and then I kept introducing new music. And there was one year, when out of every living and dead composer performed by the flute world, I dominated, because at the end they list all the composers featured at the flute fair. And I was the top composer out of all the composers in the world, including Beethoven and Mozart. So I was so well played at these shows, and you know, it is what it is. But the Great Recession, COVID-19, things interrupt, and now we have to get back momentum. You know, but it shouldn't be difficult for a guy like me. I mean, I know a lot.
No, not difficult at all. You're back on your feet, and you're running hard. Yeah,
I need to rest more, but
well, I guess one last thing, so I figure out a way to kind of partner with the Flute Association then. And
are you writing this down, Nalinia?
I'm recording it.
I wasn't taking notes.
No, I'm recording it, so we have our conversation recorded. I'll share it with you.
Because it is challenging to go into the recording and find out the little bits you need, you know?
Little nuggets. Oh, yeah.
I could be writing this down in here. I'm not thinking.
Oh, well, you got so wrapped up in, you did catch some of the notes, but
I did.
Yeah, you did. I think the major point you did, but they also have jobs. There's a job board inside this association. So
the Flute National
Flute Association. Yes, they have their own job board, but you have to be a member to access it.
Yeah, they have a newly published competition. I've won it 10 times for new publications. All the publishers in the world.
Wow, that's another feather in your cap. 10 of them.
10 of them.
Yeah.
1 year I won first prize, and then I had 9 specialty recognition awards.
That's amazing. So the peer recognition is through the roof.
Yeah, I have to realign myself with that. But I want you to know, in 2017, I reached out to them. I asked them if they would sponsor the Tutti Flute Academy. And the first question out of the board was, is it a for-profit? I said, yes, we're a nonprofit. And they knew of course they knew who I am, but they wouldn't play ball. So,
okay, back then. Well,
you can buy their email list.
Oh.
As a commercial member, actually you get the list, I think, or I got to look into it again. Their policy may have changed.
Yeah, is it very expensive?
I don't know. I've got to,
All right.
you know.
Yeah, because that's another mailing list for you.
Well, that would be, yeah, we'll see. I have to find out the reality of that.
Yeah. Well, I would think that the people who join this association are a little more serious about flute. If they are putting
Sure.
hard-earned dollars into the becoming members,
Sure.
they may be more motivated than we know to want to make something of their flute love, their love of the flute.
Yeah. No, I agree.
It's worth exploring anyway. So that was the extent of my little competitive. It's pretty much validating what you knew already. And the positioning, you're well positioned, so that's validated too. And you know exactly what you are providing and who you're providing it for.
True. My question here is, I didn't know what people stood for here. I don't know if you noticed that.
Oh.
I've written a note to you. Not sure what people alludes to.
Oh, which people?
It's market strategy, and you asked for product and services. We're online membership educational service. Price, there are 3 membership prices. Promotion, the type of promotion to offer Flute communities free training content based on the topic identity for now. People, not sure what that means. Process, and then I put the sales here.
Yeah, the people who in the organization is going to do the implementation. I think that's what I meant. Yeah, so who's responsible? I'm sorry for the vagueness.
Oh, that's okay. I just, I'm a
Yeah,
curious
people processes.
workshop.
Well, in aerospace, you talk about the Six Sigma is how to make things more efficient, and then you look at all the components that go into implementing
Right.
a new project, and people is one of them.
Okay, so the process I got right, sales funnel?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And I wrote that out. I just want to see if there's any of the notes I made for you that I.
Yeah, I'll go through it again, but
And you still like this method?
what do you think?
Here's my social media strategies that I learned. Here's where it is. Here's where it is. It's in here. So those are the social media strategies currently used that I found very interesting. And the profile for the social media person is right here. I found it. I'm so happy.
I have it too then. All right.
You want me to email that to you, or are you going to get it from here?
No, I'll get it. I'll get it. It's in our teamwork. It's a Google Doc.
So my monthly rate here is like, $400 a month. That's about as much as I could do right now.
Yeah, plus a percentage.
Plus a percentage, right? Plus a percentage of profits earned by the effects or the efficacy of the social media strategy employed.
Right. Yes. Good. Make it net profit. So cover yourself a little bit.
Right. Percentage of net. Yeah. Right. Percentage of net profits earned by the effects of the social media strategy employed. Right. So there it is. So
Perfect. I'll send that to Gaia.
There it is. And then if you don't mind, in your own private time, think about something that you like to, if you want to contribute some kind of a 5-minute lesson on SEO, some tips, strategies, and we'll incorporate you as the adjunct part of the adjunct faculty for marketing and marketing stuff. That would be great. So.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm very honored, humbled.
And what we'll do is I'll interview you on a Zoom call if you'd like.
Yeah.
On what you do and what your ideal client is, and we whatever you want me to ask you give me the questions.
Mm-hmm.
I'll ask them and I'll record it, and then people will have that to access.
Well, that would be awesome.
Is that okay with you? Is that cool?
Yes, that's cool with me.
I'm really good at that. I'm really
yes,
good.
You're very yes. Yeah.
I'll tell you what
You've done it thousands of times.
I will also tell you what I'm bad at, which is getting punched on by this little rock.
Oh my God! Okay, I think.
Yeah. Oh no!
Yeah, he's been away from you for too long.
I'm going to come down now.
What's your son's name? What's
His name is Christian Paul. Can you tell
Christian
Nathaniel?
Paul. Nice to meet you, Christian Paul.
He is talking to you. Say,
Yeah.
well, let me take you out of share so he can
Okay.
see you because
Yeah.
he can't see you. There you go.
Okay, there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Christian Paul. Hi. Nice to meet you. I kept your dad away from you too long. I apologize. Yeah, we're finished. We're just about done.
Hey, are you gonna say a nice word to him?
Yeah.
He is not shy.
No, he's not.
Not at all.
All right, Christopher, I'll let you go. Daddyhood is calling.
We try to compose music with this guy. It's just impossible.
Oh,
Crazy,
you're a
but
master multitasker.
I promised him that I'd spend time with him tonight, but I've so enjoyed this, and thank you for the tips. I love
Yes,
the.
you're very welcome.
Formate.
My pleasure. All right, well, sleep tight.
Continue.
We'll
All
talk
right.
again.
He's not usually like this. Do you reach out at him? What's
Oh,
Bye.
he misses you. Bye.